welcome to Fairydust Crafts. My name is Gina and this is my channel where I share all of my crafting adventures with you. Welcome! It's good to see you here. It is Sunday today, August 27. I just had to cheat here. It is Sunday and I just made myself a big cup of coffee. It is a double and it's still warm. And I'm intending to drink this while it's still warm. So today is Sunday. You will see this on Wednesday. Usually I film all of my little adventures here on Mondays, like Monday crafternoon, how I like to call it. But tomorrow I gotta go see my eye doctor, and I doubt that neither of us wants to see me all like funny squinty here, because I'm getting those drops in and it like usually throws me off for a few hours, and you know, most of you probably have had that done, so it's like one of my yearly things that I unfortunately have to go through. And after that, and I'm so excited. I'm like a little kid, like on Christmas morning right now. After my eye craziness tomorrow, I'm gonna go to Starbucks and I'm gonna order myself a really big pumpkin spice latte. Yes, that's who I am. There you go. I said it out loud. The internet knows about it now. It's okay. I'm like, I got excited for fall. I think I've said this before here. I am not a summer person. Summer's slowly coming to an end. I think the kids are going back to school in like a couple weeks. So I'm excited. I sat down today and I kind of like did some planning, because planning is my thing. And I planned out my, like, what needs to happen in the coming month, because it's already the last week of the month, isn't it? Crazy. But yeah, I'm already starting to kind of like plan out winterizing our house, winterizing our home and our yard. It's crazy. I feel like summer's just kind of like disappeared on me. I haven't even been to the lake at all this year. So we haven't traveled anywhere. We've just been at home, and we enjoyed our home life really very much this summer. We've been very busy. I think that's the thing. Anyways, so I am here coming to you from my craft room. I think today is going to be a really short one, I'm assuming, because I'm full of drive today. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's all the coffee. I'm just gonna take a big sip. What was I gonna say? Right, I'm full of drive. So I have plans. I haven't really gotten much done in terms of like crafting this week because I've been so busy. But today I woke up and I was like, oh, I really need to do some cleaning and like Sunday things. Sunday is my cherished day off, and I like to just kind of like go slow. Just not a drop of makeup on me, and I really I don't care. I really don't care if like any of you guys wear a lot of makeup or nothing at all. You do you. I used to be a makeup artist, and you do you. But I like to be naked every once in a while. Anyways, so, and if you can hear this, I apologize. My neighbor's mowing the lawn, or somebody, but Sunday things, really. I feel like everybody's kind of like doing their thing, so I need to get some cleaning done in the house today. And because Sunday is kind of like my day of rest and relaxation, I just had a shower. It's 2 o'clock and I had like an afternoon shower. But my big thing for this week, and I think it's also crafting related, is getting my craft room kind of like in order. I want to move these. There's my serger up here, and then I got my sewing machine behind me, one of them. and I kind of like want to move those things around. Those are like utilitarian, and this is one of those like IKEA Kallax shelves, and I kind of like want to make it look a little prettier. Right now everything is so utilitarian, like there is books in there and magazines, and I've got these baskets that can you see them right there? I really hate those. They make a huge mess. They smell kind of funny. I don't know, like they always have. When I unpacked them and set them up, I was like, these don't smell good. So I actually had them outside for a little while. I had, like, at our old place, I had them out on our balcony. I was like, I'm just gonna air this out. But it's still just, it smells like the grass, like dried grass that they're made from. And like, I don't really mind the smell, but I feel like it's very overwhelming. And like, whenever we go away somewhere and I keep the door to my craft room closed, I feel like the first thing I can smell is, well, I can smell the yarn in here, like wool, lanolin, and also those baskets, and I don't like them. So I think I'm gonna like chuck everything out and find new homes for things, and maybe find new homes for those baskets. So I kind of like have some ideas. Anyways, so let's get right to it. Before I start with my current projects, I would like to let you know that I'm mostly on Instagram and Ravelry, and you can find all the links and everything, all the details of like what my projects are, and all the links to my channels and everywhere. You can find all of those below the title here in my show notes. So there will be like little dots that say more beside it. So you just click on there, and then it gives you like the whole list of everything. So those are my show notes. If you ever want to go back and you're like, oh wait, what did she talk about? And I don't know, what is she wearing? She didn't tell me that this is the Anna tee. You can find all of those details. I always like to go back and make sure that I have everything on there. All the links are on there. If I do forget anything, just let me know in the comments below and give me a thumbs up. And let's just get to what I'm working on right now. Okay, so I just mounted some better microphone quality here. I hope that works or helps with like tuning out any other sound that's happening, like, or sound bouncing off my walls here. I have a very like cave woman setup here. I film with my phone, and this is my microphone, which I think actually works really well, so I'm not too concerned about that. And then I have a little tripod that's literally sitting on things. So I am slowly planning on getting some things in order here, some better quality for you guys, so it doesn't look like potato videos on here. Potato videos are like videos that are so bad even a potato could have made it. But right now I have okay lighting still, with just like my overhead light and then my like actual natural daylight. But as the days are getting shorter, I may lose some light, and I don't know if I can like manage to film in the morning when I have a little more light in here. So I will have a look at some lighting for like inexpensive kind of like starter lighting. If you guys have any ideas, let me know, because I don't really know what to look for. I have to kind of like put my feelers out here. Anyway, so I have not a single finished object for this week. I know I said I'm gonna finish that little cabled back shirt last week, and I really wanted to, but then something else happened, and like it's still literally in the same stage. I still have to like sew the whole thing together and figure out something with those sleeves. but I think my initial plan should work out, right? Like if I just put a little sleeve in here and then just do a little like 2x2 ribbing like I did for the rest of it. But I think should be a good idea, right? But yeah, so I'm not any further than I was last week. I really want to wear this though. I really do. So that will be on kind of like the top of my pile this week for real. Promise. So that was the cable back shell by Purl Soho. The next one you have already seen as well is my Westerly hat. I've had some issues with this. So this is for a wonderful woman. It's like cables. This is Westerly by Tynn Knits. So you got two different kinds of cables. One of them is kind of like a braid, and the other one is like a three cable, 3-stitch cable. So this is supposed to be a large, and it is like fairly large. I had my husband try it on, but I'm like knitting this like totally according to the pattern, and I noticed that like I was like, this is really short. And I noticed this when I was already like 3/4 like through my decreases on the crown. So this hat is why I haven't really gotten much done this week. You know, we all have these projects every once in a while. So what I did is I actually tried it on myself, and I have a fairly small head. So, and it like fit me, but like fit me, and like that's it. There was no wiggle room, nothing. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is odd. So I took all of my decreases out. I literally, and because it's cables and I'm always so like paranoid to like lose all of my stitches, and then it takes me forever to fix. So I just like tinked it back. Tinking is knitting backwards. And so I did that. Took me like half a day. Not really, but it took me like a while. Definitely longer than it would to like actually knit. So yeah. Took it all the way back to my very last repeat. So like last row of my last repeat, and then I had my husband try it on, and I was like, oh, I still need at least 2 pattern repeats just to actually have it like, or at least one more. And then the decrease was only 1 inch long, so which is okay. Like not every hat has to have a decrease that's like half your hat. Especially I find with cables that are so, you know, stretchy and like do their own thing. So yeah, I went all the way back, and now I'm just gonna use his head. He has a larger head too, so I'm just gonna use him as my model and do like extra decreases, or not the extra, couple extra repeats from like what the actual pattern tells me to do, and then just fix it that way. But I was like, this is so weird, and like part of me is even wondering if it's large enough, if I shouldn't like go all the way back, pull it all the way out, and add extra stitches so I have an extra pattern repeat somewhere in between, because the pattern repeat is 9, 10, 11, I think 13 stitches. Yes, I think so. So like that would give me a lot of room there. I cast on, it was 108 stitches to cast on, and then went up to like 117, something like that. This is a DK weight yarn by All Points North Yarn Company. So then I was making 2 hats for her. she wanted cables, and I love doing cables. It's like, it's so much fun. I don't know. It's like once you get the hang of it, and I used to do cables like many, many moons ago, and then kind of like didn't really do much of cables anymore. I would do like the odd hat, or like the alt mittens with like cables on top. I really love that. But then cables just kind of like disappeared, and I feel like now they're making a comeback, and all those really cool like fisherman's sweaters, like those like fisherman inspired sweater Guernsey, they're all coming back. So I'm like, this is so much fun. And I'm having a lot of fun with this. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna start my next one, because I have so much to do, so much to knit for the next like 2 months, and I keep like adding more, so I'm not doing myself any favors here. But yeah, I want these done, and ideally I would like them to be done by like the end of by the end of this week. So I kind of like have a free like, so I have a clean slate for September, somewhat, more or less. You know my like 28 whips UFOs, but you know, like I want these things to be like out of my way. So I started my second hat, and same thing. It started with 108 stitches, which I think is absolutely like, that's the right size, that's perfect. But I increased math. Oh, do you see that? Those little flies. I don't know where they come from. It's always like, it's like you could set a clock to them. It's always like the last, like when September starts, kind of, they come out. They're everywhere. There's like they're little fruit flies or something. So we start with 108 stitches, and it increased to, I believe, 132. I believe so. And then it's kind of like a very similar thing. So this is a double cable right here. You can't really see much because I've only done like one repeat and then started the second one. But there's a double cable here. So like 2 strands going this way and then 2 strands like braids. And then there is an in-between one where it's just a kind of like a very standard single cable. I have made this hat so many times. And there is a pair of mittens that go with it that my mom has, and she really loves them. So I love this pattern. It is a free pattern, like, I don't even know, I think it's just a cable hat, like they just call it cable hat, but it's a free pattern on Garnstudio, the Drops Yarn Company's like website. So all the links below, but it's such a wonderful pattern. So there is a hat, there's mittens, and there's like a dicky kind of thing. It's so fun. I love knitting this. So I know that this for sure will be the right size. This will actually fit her. And that's why I'm thinking maybe with my Westerly, I just go back, rip it all out, or like rip it out till I get to my ribbing, so I don't have to do the ribbing again. And then just like do the whole thing again, like add more stitches all around, like one more repeat, one more section, and fix it. So I don't know what's gonna happen yet, but that's my idea right now. Alrighty, so enough for hats here. Oh my goodness, what a mess. So we all know this, right? I'm like mid-row. That's not a good example. Always finish your row when you knit and you want to put your work down. Just finish your row so you know what's happening, and nothing bad can happen, because this is like very easy. Just pull your needles out. So this is my knit along. I haven't gotten very far yet. I'm hoping to just sit down and like work the back yoke, like finish that maybe tonight in front of the TV. I have finished all of my decreases for the back yoke, and now I am just finishing like the actual length of the back yoke, and then I am all done with that. Well, not all done, obviously not all done, but then I'm done with that section, and it will move forward to picking up stitches on the shoulder and then doing the front yoke. And once that's done, we're gonna join the both parts, and then it's just gonna be back and forth. So that's my knit along. You guys know about my knit along. Please join me on Ravelry if you want to knit a November jacket by PetiteKnit. It's so much fun. I really love knitting this. It gives you such a beautiful squishy fabric, and I cannot wait to wear this. I feel like this is going to be the perfect cardigan to just like, once the mornings get a little cooler, just throw that on, because we all know it's like the mornings are cool, and then by mid-afternoon it's like basically t-shirt and shorts weather again, until you gotta turn on the heat in your vehicle on your way home. So I think that's gonna be one of my like staple pieces for this winter. I'm very excited to wear it, and I want to knit nothing but that right now. I just want to work on that one cardigan. And also socks. You guys know that I love my socks. Socks are awesome, and they're my go-to knit. I haven't finished any of the ones that I showed you last week, but I've made some progress. So this one, I was working on this one last night in front of the TV, so I got like a little bit done. I always find a like any kind of lace pattern just takes a little longer, because you do gotta pay attention, and you do like different things with your needles. So it's pretty tall sock. So there's this one. I only got one of these. This is the Cozy Autumn Socks by This Handmade Life, and I want to make this in like the actual autumn colors. That would be so much fun. So this will not be the last pair of Cozy Autumn socks, I don't think. Now my February socks. So, oh, and this yarn, by the way, is K-Sip Knits. This is my sock subscription, yarn subscription. Mystery Monday, this was July, Donut Dreams, and this is February, Painted Plume. Isn't it fun? I love this. It's so much fun. So I finished one and started my second one. I think I'm about like 5 rows in. Yeah, about 5 rows, I think. Here's a little tip. I think I want to do like a little Instagram reel or something. If you suffer from second sock syndrome, what I suggest is, and I did exactly this yesterday. So I finished this yesterday. All I had to do yesterday was do my toe and weave in my 2 ends, and like that's it. So what I suggest, if you have troubles with, you know, finishing your one sock in like 3 days, and then your next one sits there for like 5 months, without even like having cast it on or anything. And I have one of those that's been sitting here for 10 months. So I have a single sock that's just been sitting for 10 months, and then actually 2 singles and one that's only like, where the first one is only like 3/4 done. Those are my UFOs, and I'll get to them. But here's a pro tip. Not that I'm a pro, am I? I don't think so. But what you can do, and this is if you do like 1 sock at a time, which I usually do unless you like split up your yarn, or if you have like 2 balls of the same yarn. So I, for the most part, knit one and then knit the next. And one really great thing to avoid second sock syndrome is just start your second sock So you use the same needles, obviously, and then just get started. Cast on and knit like 5 rows or 10 rows, however far you get. But that way you can ensure that you already have that sock done and you're not gonna go and start something different. Now, I know lots of people, I'm friends with a couple people who they won't, like, they are not in no pressure at all to finish their full pair of socks. So they will just grab a different, like a different yarn altogether and knit a completely different sock. And then they come back to like the other one whenever they feel like it. And I find that that doesn't work for me. I need to have both of them done within like the same, like a certain time frame, I want to say, because my tension changes. I don't know, like, if it's just me or like does this happen to anybody else, but I have that where like I tried that and I was like, oh, I feel like something a little different, and then I go in and finish that second sock later and they don't fit the same way. So my tension definitely changes over time, and I think that's perfectly natural. So I always suggest if you do one at a time, start your second one right away. I will do a little short clip to kind of like to explain the different ways on how to avoid second sock syndrome, how I do it at least, because there is like, this is just one method, but there's plenty more of those. So these are my February socks because I am catching up, trying so hard to catch up on my yarn subscription socks, because I decided like 2 months ago that I want to turn all of my yarn, like yarn subscription yarn, into socks. There you go. Yes. So yesterday, because it's already like the end of August, I started, and I made such a big mistake just now, like this morning. So first things first, because it is the last week of August, I would like to have my yarnable socks for August done within the next couple weeks. So I'm gonna give myself until the end of the first week of September. But if I can get them out of the way, I hope to do so. So I started my first sock here. This is, oops, there we go. I got my cuff done and like a few rounds of knitting, just plain knitting. These are just going to be vanilla socks. I need a palette cleanser, and isn't this yarn gorgeous? I love this. Where's my tag? Oh no. See, and this is what I've been dealing with. I like can't, oh, there it is. I'm like all over the place. I've just been so busy and things get like scattered everywhere, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll come back to this later, and then later is like 2 days later, and I'm like, what is this? I don't know. So this yarn is, as I said, the August Yarnable by Hypnotic Yarn. There we go. And this is Grow with the Flow, so it's all like sunflower inspired. It is so, like, I love this yarn. It's a 8515 superwash merino nylon mix, and I made a big mistake, and I just kind of like, I was like, oh, perfect. So all of her yarn comes in these little baggies, and I was like, oh, perfect, project bag. But my cake right now, and this is a really terribly round cake, by the way, and so my cake right now is a little too big, so I just shoved it in there, and now it's like coming apart. So that was not so smart, but no big deal. This is like 3 rounds of knitting, and I'll just get rid of that. Yeah, so this will just be like a plain old vanilla sock. They're like my favorite to knit. They're my favorite to wear. Oh, got like something in my eyeball. They're my favorite to wear and my favorite to knit. I don't know why I love knitting pattern socks, like lacy socks or like a cable or something. Love knitting them and like showing them off. But I prefer wearing vanilla socks. So I think I should just stick with that. But yeah, these are gonna be gorgeous. I love it. It's so beautiful. So they are, it's like a, like, look at it. So pretty. So I do want I want to kind of like keep on track with my subscription yarns because it's fun. I want to like open the yarn and look at all the little goodies that are in there and cast it on right away. Because I think that should be the goal, or that should be like, that's the thing of getting a yarn subscription. I don't want to stash it because I'm trying to use up my stash, remember? And I gotta like think about that too. I keep forgetting that I have like a mission here, and right now I'm suffering from mad cast on itis. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the season changing or something, but I see like all of these. I'm like just getting all of these ideas from all over the place. I'm being like mad influenced. Does this happen to anybody else? I really, really hope so, because it doesn't help my situation. So yeah, I'm hoping that like even just getting this crazy mess under control and like finding homes for things, and I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna turn on some good music and I'm just gonna buckle down and get going and do some cleaning, because I'm like, I just feel like it. I'm like antsy or something. But yeah, the season's changing. Just have me like cast on, want to make everything, and I gotta focus. I'm easy to lose focus here. It's like, ooh, shiny. But yeah, I told you today is probably gonna be a pretty short one. I have literally, this is it, like for this week. I'm not very prepared for today, to be honest, and I wouldn't be by tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, because I just knowing myself, and I haven't really like gotten much done. Yeah, such is life, and you know, it just has to go on, and sometimes there's not much to say. I have so many UFOs to share with you, and I just want to like get things out and get things going. And then in the meantime, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Happy crafting, and I hope to see you all here next week. Bye.